Releasing a game is scary. You put years of hard work into a single project, and you have no idea if people will like it until it actually releases. On November 9th, I'm releasing my first commercial game, Grapples Galore, into early access on Steam. So much time and effort went into making this game, so it's scary to finally release it to the public, even if it's just for an early access release. There are a few specific things that I'm worried about too though. First and foremost, the bugs. My game has quite a few bugs. Even if none of them, that I know of, are game-breaking, it's still scary to release a game into the public while it's not perfectly bug-free. I don't know how people will react to the bugs they encounter, and that's a little scary. As a solo indie developer, I'm not going to be able to spot and fix all these bugs through just the small playtests I've been having with my friends though. That's part of the reason I'm releasing the game into early access in the first place. Being able to gather community feedback and iterate on the game accordingly will lead to the best version of the game down the line. Another thing I'm worried about is the current lack of content. There are only 4 maps and 1 game mode in the game right now, and I worry people might get bored of the game quite quickly because of that. The game does have unique movement and gunplay though that I hope will keep players engaged for a while. I also plan on adding more maps and more game modes while the game is in early access. The last stretch of development before release has been tough. There's been so much to do and pretty much none of it's been fun. One thing I particularly struggled with is localization. I severely underestimated how hard this was going to be. I feel like my game doesn't have that much text, but as soon as I started localizing the game, I realized how big of a task this was. First, I had to start by implementing the localization logic onto every single piece of text in the game. I used Unity's localization system for this. The system itself is great, but the process of implementing it this late into the game's development was a pain in the ass. I first had to set up a new variable on this table for every single piece of text in the game. I then had to configure the script onto every single text object in Unity, or alternatively, for pieces of text controlled by scripts, I had to modify each script individually to support localization. After all this, I then had to decide what languages I wanted to localize to. I was a little too ambitious again with this when I started out. I planned on just using Google Translate, and then I realized how bad Google Translate is, and had to cut down the languages to only languages that friends can help me with. Thank you so much to everyone who helped me with this. After years of development, it's really cool seeing my game in a bunch of different languages. Each language also took a long time to translate because there was just a lot of text that needed translating. I also had to configure new fonts specifically for Mandarin, which took a while because it's really hard to find fonts that look similar enough to the fonts I use in-game. Another thing I've been working on is the trailer for my game. Making the trailer was also tough, but at least it was a little more fun than localization. If you plan on making a trailer for your indie game, I highly recommend checking out Derek Liu. I know his videos helped me out a lot when making my trailer. My trailer isn't perfect, but I'm pretty happy with the final result. Even though releasing a game is scary, I'm also really excited. If you plan on playing my game on the 9th of November, please keep in mind it's just a small indie game made by one guy though. It may have a few bugs, but I think it's pretty fun and I hope you guys enjoy it. Also be sure to wishlist the game on Steam to be notified when the game releases.